Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Starcrrest The G here. Today's subject is going to be about this disclosure thing with Cory and Dave Wilcock. Alright. Now, first of all, I spoke about this subject before, but not in length or depth. However, I just wanted to bring this short message to you. I'm looking at these people on YouTube right now. At one point, it was just low-level videos, something like what I'm doing, very low-level videos, and they're talking about disclosure. Now, these big dramatized Hollywood-style videos and lectures. Now, the devil has a few tricks. One of the devil's tricks is to make his adversary very rich. So now they got the platform to give speeches, lectures, and all that when they fill to capacity in most cases, with somebody just paying to hear their opinion about UFOs, UFO phenomena, and extraterrestrials. Now, what's funny about it is some people, on this planet believe that they are basically in sync with one another. Certain things don't have to be said about them. They have a discipline about them. So even when they're wrong, they know how to be quiet about it, not say nothing, just intake what's good for them. Now, as far as this disclosure, it's been disclosure through the Old Testament of the Bible, which we call the Injil. There's been disclosure in the New Testament of the Bible, which we call the Injil. There's been disclosure in the Quran. There's been disclosure in the Nation of Islam. All of this way before some Cory and David Wilcock came on the scene. But they come on the scene with elaborate pictures, elaborate artist depictions of these extraterrestrial beings, and they make it their business just about in every lecture when they talk about these beings. They're always talking about these tall whites or blondes or Nordics. Okay? But they say very little about the true extraterrestrials on the planet, which is the black man and black woman. Again, like when you listen to my soliloquy, so to speak, about who's God, I told you that the black man has no set birth record on this planet. So therefore, just like God has no beginning and no end. There's a famous philosophy that says when there was a time that things didn't exist and those things came into existence, there will come a time when they cease to exist as well. So you don't have the time when we came about, and we the last ones to talk about. And then Cory even said he think that the white people are the newest extraterrestrials on the planet. Like, how eloquent is he when he lies? You got all this scientific data and empirical evidence, as they say, but you don't understand that all hues or colors, should we say, of people can be produced from the black man and black woman. But you can't say that about the other races of people. That tells you on this physical level, the black man is God. And they always talk about the God's return. The gods are going to return. Right. The black man is going to come back to this planet. This is why he gave this planet to his descendants. This is why we, the black man and black women on this planet, are the owners of this planet. Even though we're not in power, we understand. We understand. Sometimes, you win a battle, but you don't win the war. Not suggesting that we have a war physically, but it is a war of thought. It is a war of spirituality. It is a war of people being in their place or not in their place. Now, in this disclosure project, like I said again, at the end of the day, now when you first met me, folks, I've always said peace and love, peace and love. That should hint to you something about being great. Now, all of a sudden, not saying that they got it from me, but they got it from these extraterrestrials. They're saying that we need to live in the mindset, so to speak, of peace and love. Why do I already know this? And why they acting like it's something new? And again, why would we have to live in the mindset of peace and love? I mean, saying as far as their people go. They also say we have to be in the mindset of the heart set of forgiveness. Again, I asked this question. And you can think about it as long as you want to, folks, because it doesn't matter. Nobody's ever going to answer this question. But with all respect to all beings on this planet, who does the Caucasian or the white race of people on this planet have to forgive? Who did them so wrong? Who did them dirty, as we say in the street? Far as I know, ever since they got in power, they did everybody else dirty. And every land that they touched, even on their own land, there was nothing but war, hatred, bloodshed, murder. So now they need to forgive somebody? What, you gonna forgive them for murdering them? You gonna forgive them for raping them? You gonna forgive them for taking their land, their women, their God? You're gonna forgive them because of all the atrocities that you committed against them? That's what your forgiveness is? How do you forgive somebody for you doing something to somebody? That's silly. It's actually an oxymoron. No, they need to accept what they did and what their forefathers did that was wrong. They need to accept that. But they refuse. Just as the pharaohs refused when Moses or Musa came to them and told them, let my people go. But Pharaoh's heart was going to be hardened. And you know who hardened his heart? It wasn't Pharaoh. It was the Almighty himself. Because he knew who the Pharaoh was before the Pharaoh was born. So he knew the evil. He knew the evil God that he served, or deity, so to speak. Most of y'all people think that the devil is the opposition or the opposer of the Most High God. That's not true. There's no being in existence except the Most High that can oppose him. He'd have to oppose himself. This is why the Quran says when he was having a conversation with Iblis, who's Lucifer, he says, why are you like this? And Iblis answers and says, because you made me this way. He says, now go and be a watcher unto men. And before that, he asks another question. And he says, surely, the answer was to the question, and the question was, the statement rather, was, I shall turn your elect against you, even go on the righteous path. This is what Lucifer's telling the Most High. And the Most High says, surely, I know what you know not. And that's what I could say. I can't even really say that and be truthful about it. To address Brother Cory Good or Brother David Wilcock for their blunders. You know, they're just out there trying to get rich, I believe. And I see no problem with that. Yo, get your money. Get your money, doctor. But for real, they know. Because they know that Bible. And that Bible tells them all through that Bible. Isaiah chapter 13 explains what the Most High is going to do to these people on this planet. And it explains in that same passage of scripture, it says, God says, I call my mighty ones. I call my sanctified ones. And for mine anger, and even them that rejoice in my highness, for they come from a far country at the end of heaven. Come on. You mean to tell me the end of heaven just has a country that floats in the space without atmosphere? They're describing another planet that these mighty ones and these sanctified ones are coming from. And they said they come with all the weapons of his indignation. It also states at the end of that, after that war is done, certain parts of it says, you know, gold and silver shall not delight them. So you can't buy your way out of this, devil. You got to suffer the wrath. Or you need to get right with the Most High. Stop what you're doing. What you're doing is not right, and you know it. So again, all through that Bible, it describes a group of people on this planet Earth that are not really so much as evil, but they're just disagreeable. They choose to disagree with the truth that the Most High puts out there in front of them. You're going to tell me, yeah, there's extraterrestrials. You pick up extraterrestrial bodies that are black, and you want to sit there and whitewash them. Accept the truth, my brother. Understand that the Almighty, the Most High, is black. And he delegated a certain authority to other beings. But they all know Look at the movie Enemy Mine. It was a drac, as they call a draconian, or what they call a what they call them now. They call them they're like the serpent people. They call these people the reptilians now. And in the movie The Enemy Mine, that reptilian got up on top of the house early in the morning and prayed in Arabic to his God from a small book. And remember, out of the scriptures, the main three religions and their scriptures, the smallest book is the Quran. Most Qurans look thick because they're in 2 different languages, but the Quran is smaller than all of the other books. That's why in the Revelations in the Bible, it says they were talking about Yeshua and they were talking about Muhammad. When they talked about Yeshua, they were talking about judgment. They said there'll be a man with a tongue like a double-edged sword and the book of life in his right hand. That was Yeshua, the one they called Jesus. And then secondly, he said, then there'll be a man who has a sword in his right hand and a small book in his left. They were talking about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing forever be upon him, for being brave and courageous enough to spread Islam to the death. Okay, Mr. Cory Good, Mr. David Wilcock. Again, I salute you with my ending salutation, if you ever figure it out. Peace and love. Peace and love.